My dear brothers and sisters, today is Saturday and today 21st September, and we are very happy to listen to Saint Matthew who celebrate the feast today especially for the glory of his life. And today, my dear brothers and sisters, when we talk about Saint Matthew, who seems to have an educated person, man who was good at learning. So therefore the Romans had given him a job of being a tax collector. And he was sitting in his office and collecting taxes from people and giving it to the authorities. So one day Jesus happened to pass by that tax office. And then Jesus, when he sees Matthew, he looked at his eyes and may have thought that this man can really change. So Jesus invites him and says, Matthew, come and follow me. And immediately Matthew left the tax office and went with Jesus and never to come back. So he gave up that job, he gave up all that money he was getting at the tax office, but he found that there is something special about Jesus, and in him I will have salvation for eternity. My dear brothers and sisters, he was so happy that he invited Jesus that night for dinner in his house. And he also, because of this great man, the Son of Man is coming to my house, I must invite other friends or other tax collectors and sinners, and they also went with him. And my dear brothers and sisters, let us not forget that Jesus himself also was happy. So when some of these friends, Matthew's friends, remark that how can Jesus, being a teacher, can eat with sinners and the tax collectors? And there Jesus was very sharp. He said, I have come to call the sinners, not the righteous. And so therefore, just understand what it means and learn from it. My dear brothers and sisters, Saint Matthew was also so happy that he also wrote the Gospel of Jesus. And in the Gospel, he specially mentioned about the Beatitudes. And these Beatitudes and especially the morality, especially that we see in the New Testament, is something unique. And therefore, he gave his own life for Jesus. My dear brothers and sisters, let us not forget that that type of character we see in Jesus is only because Jesus saw something in Matthew and he converted him at that moment and he invited him. And Matthew went to Egypt and many other places, but in Egypt as he was preaching, he suffered a lot and he also was crucified there for Jesus. He was ready to be crucified. Now in this places we see how Matthew tries to make the people understand about the Sermon on the Mount, where this morality is specific. And he wants all these Pharisees and scribes that is telling them, unless you follow this crisis spirituality, there is no salvation for you. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, he seems to be the first in writing this gospel. Maybe that his own gospel in Hebrew may have been lost, but he wrote again in Greek, and that Greek copy still have original one. So let us not forget that this man had taken Jesus so seriously in his life that there was nothing else in his life but Jesus and Jesus himself.